job.
You did do a great job.
I guess I really just didn't think. Okay. I knew that it was going to be controversial. That's why I picked it, because I like to be the one to stir the pot. So I knew it was going to be that. And it's also a huge topic in this community, obviously. But again, coming from a background where I had already had an understanding about having more than one Isha, like I was ready for it. But yeah, I do remember that.
But see, that's why I think you and your Ish are like the perfect match, because he teaches culture and you've experienced so many different cultures that you give that different perspective, whereas you have a lot of women who came from a Christian background. And I think had you presented it in a way like this is accepted in a lot of cultures, and let me tell you why, it would have been a different conversation. But it was like they took it as a negative thing.
But I know why they took it that way. I don't know if you remember, but a lot of the women at the end of your lesson, a lot of the women had mentioned that they had only been spoken to about polygyny as a punishment.
Oh, yeah.
It was always like, oh, well, you can't give me a son, so I'm going to go get another wife.
I'm going to have another wife, right.
Or you're always unclean, so I need another wife. Oh. It was always given to them as a punishment. So you coming in like smiling, talking about polygyny, they're like... Hold up.
and then you have me, because then you have some of the brothers that's like, well, you would have somebody to help you in the house. We can hire a maid. Like, why do we need another wife? So the conversation went a lot of places.
Oh yeah,
I'll say that.
So the lesson was fine, but they were upset because it had been brought to them as in, you're not good enough, so I need someone else.
Yeah.
So to have somebody else, like, it's great. They're like, no, I am enough.
Or then the flip, why am I not enough? Right. Why do we need someone else?
And do you know how many people always ask me, like, so how many wives do your husband have? I said, one.
Okay, let's talk about my son going to my husband's work event. But hold on, really quick, true story. And they asked my son, how many wives did daddy have? And my son said 3.
Okay.
3 baby mamas is not 3 wives, right? Well, that's another conversation. Another conversation. I'm not going to touch on that one.
They aren't.
Are we going to do the put away talk? No, we're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one.
Well.
All right. Wow. It's interesting. Now, I got to ask my I'm like, what do you mean they asked you how many I have?
Oh, I've had plenty people ask me that.
That's the first thing.
Because
that's the first thing people think about.
Right.
Oh, he can have more than one wife. That's not.
I've been asked that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
If it's not the first question, it's the third question.
It mostly came from men, not women. I would even say my brothers even asked me that question.
I will say, we actually went on a double date with Kazat and Zaya, and like a year later, we met this couple, and they said, "Oh, I thought he was the husband, and you two were the wives, and that was his son." And I was like, "Wait a minute!"
Wow.
My issue. Malak was the son, and you and I were the 2 Ishas.
Wow.
That's so people they draw these assumptions.
Yeah.
Really quick.
God. Right. Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting. All right. Let us move on to the next question. The next question is, what did you gain during the experience of being in that?
That's easy.
Thank you. Looking at us. You wanna go, Itia?
Yeah, go ahead first, Itia.
Oh wow. Put me on the spot, Kia. I gained a beautiful sisterhood. I gotta say that, because that was like one of the top things for me, was interacting and just forming relationships with other sisters. And a lot of women don't have that. So even after we stopped meeting for Shabbat and all that, as you can see, we're still here. But and just the fact of learning, I did learn a lot of stuff. And I enjoyed the feast days. I really do. I think Sukkot was my favorite.
Right.
Although My first year, I was terrified. We were not prepared. We did not have everything, but you best believe every year I got better. So, I mean, we didn't even have water bottles. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then it rained. So it was like, this is overwhelming.
That was a hurricane. That wasn't just rain. That was a hurricane.
Horrible.
Yeah,
But I can say that everybody pulled together and worked together. If you didn't have something, somebody else had something and did not mind sharing. I mean, I even was able to give, and I didn't have that much. Mm-hmm. But, I think the best thing for me was just forming, family.
Okay.
I'm going to say the same thing because I think I said it once during a service. Like, that's it. Y'all got me for life. Like, that's it.
Right.
Like, these are my sisters forever. Y'all are my brothers forever. I don't care where I go. I don't care what I'm doing. Like, that part. I did learn a lot. That's I would say the same thing. That's it.
Okay. It's good. Feast days. Them feast days, boy. I'm telling you.
That bonded us, those cold showers.
Yes.
Thank you.
With them babies. Woo, we did that. Yes, ladies. Same. Definitely family. We had so many good experiences. Experiences that are just priceless, laughs, cries. I always, there's a running joke with me. Like, I'm always kind of in my mind thinking about the apocalypse. So I'm like, who would be on my team? And yeah, definitely family, love, lots of love. Yeah.
Wait, who's on the team?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
And I love that, like, my daughter got so many good examples of, just women. Like, not what she sees on TV or on YouTube or out in the streets. Like, just good sisters. Like, I loved y'all from the beginning. Kid tying that head wrap that first time. That was so funny.
Are we going to get into that? Okay.
Girl, they even said, do we need to come with our head wraps and go to the school? We was ready.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man. For me, I've had this talk, and I wanted to really meditate on my answer. But the best thing I got is exposure. Okay. So I thought I could cook, but then you get around people who can, like, throw down. So then you got to step your game up.
Right.
Like, I've never attempted to sew in my life. I made a couple outfits.
Right.
They weren't the best, but they whatever.
They made the cut.
They made the cut. We took some cute pictures. The people in this room, I know everybody can't see the people in this room, but, like, these are the people that I can call and I know they are coming, even when I can't call, like, my blood family. Right. I remember a pipe burst and my husband, I think he was deployed. And I'm like, Izzy, I wish you, Isha, I need somebody to stop this water. I didn't even know how many days the water was running. And Zocane came straight over, like, oh, I got you, sis, don't worry about it. Like, my daughter's godparents are in this room. My children's other mother are in this room. Right. My Capricorn sis for life is in this room. So, and I am a woman who, transparency, I struggle with relationships with females.
Okay.
So to get to a point where I have people that don't pass judgment on me for being me, that was a big thing. So those are some of my good takeaways.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds pretty good, man. That's enjoyable. I'm glad. I would say this for this core group right here. Yes, and we express it to each other throughout the weeks. If anybody needs anything from either one of us or whatever, most of the time we are there. Unless, something's like we're out of town or something and we can't help out or what have you. But most of the time, they're there. Most of the time, y'all are there. No matter what the situation may be, we probably can call each other, 2-3 o'clock in the morning and get an answer. Especially I know Nigeria because she's up.
She don't sleep.
I'm always up.
She don't sleep.
Jira's always up. But anybody, if you have any issue, especially with Jira, especially at any time like that, yeah, she's up. So
I want to add one thing.
Go ahead.
So I had a conversation at work yesterday, and somebody I work with made a comment. Her friend asked her how her husband was doing, and she was so offended. And I said, why? I was like, you couldn't roll in my group. And then I thought about the day Jared texted me and said, sis, I just got home and my door was open. And I said, hold up. All y'all need to get to Newport News and go see why her door was open.
Right.
And it wasn't even a thought like, oh, girl, I'm not sending my husband over there. It was like, boy, get up, get shoes on. Like, all y'all get together, go check it out for her. But that piece, I will say, is a blessing because it's no jealousy. It's no judgment. It's literally like, these are my brothers and my sisters.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to move on to the next question. The next question is, from your perspective, how were societal issues handled that may have gained awareness during that time?
Who came up with that?
That's Malak, yeah.
Sounds like a
You know that's a Malak question. You already
I
know
got
that.
some SAT words in it. Read that one more time.
That is definitely Malak, yeah.
Yeah, I would say this. Malak, you want to
Explain.
I need
explain
you
it
to
to
ask that in a different way.
Yeah.
So when I ask that question, what I'm asking you is like, different settings or different stage settings outside of the assembly would come up, right? So, like brothers that was teachers, right? We would have different viewpoints on, I'm gonna say like a social standing in the community, an economic standing in the community, or just the community involvement and or building at that time. Like from your perspective, right? How did we address that? How did we, if we addressed it at all? Because like you got what's going on in the camp, and then you got what's happening on Monday.
right.
Okay, I'll take that one. I would say from my experience, I only witnessed that one time when you're truly talking about a community outside the doors of COI. And we went to DC and we did Feed the Homeless.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably the only thing that I personally experienced truly going into the community, because it really it's us and then it's them. So we didn't really do too much in the community that I can speak on. And if I forgot something, y'all please correct me. But that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. So you're saying that it could have been a process of us going out into the community more without having a Sabbath service or going outside of doing certain things like feeding the homeless, having food drives, or even I think you did a school drive, right? I think
Yeah, but
we
that
did
was still
later
for
on.
us. Like,
Well,
that
yeah, it was
wasn't-
for us, right? But you still did the hair thing.
I
for
did.
the sisters,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Right.
Oh, and the brothers did do the walk at Mount Trashmore. I
Yeah.
forgot that one.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Too many things
Okay.
that we even, from my perspective, considered something that we needed to be involved in.
Okay.
It
Right.
was like, oh, that ain't our business.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know.
No, I'm gonna say I agree. I can't think of anything else that we did outside of.
Okay.
Oh no! Didn't you guys do like going to the jails or something?
No, we was going to start it, but we never.
We were gonna start it, but we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't believe that we got.
Yeah.
I just remember the guy coming to the assembly that time.
Yeah. And that was interesting. It's ya.
I could say I agree with them. It was not a lot. I think it was a lot of discussion about doing some things, but it never, actually happened.
Okay. Same.
Yeah, I think we were kind of in our own little bubble.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Okay.
much that I remember. But I mean, that felt like at the time enough.
Okay. So at this point where we're at now with that question, do you think it should have been more done, or more
I
going
think
out
more
with the
could
people?
have been done. I
Okay.
think more could have been done, but there was a lot of growth happening for us too.
Yeah.
So we were in the process of bringing more people in.
Right.
We were still a very small community, just trying to organize and be consistent. And there was a lot of consistency. Like for a long time, I remember we went from one building to the next building.
Right.
and, you know, cut an album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we did a lot within
Yeah.
our bubble. And then,
Yeah.
like, of course, like I said, there was some growth. So I think that probably would have been the best time to start doing that. We had more resources and more people able to contribute to that.